Are you tired of not making money? Everybody's sitting at 10, 50, 100x and you're still wondering, what am I doing wrong? Well, in today's video, I'm going to teach you exactly step by step my scalping strategy to be able to make at least $1,000 per week. So, first of all, you want to go to BullX.io, which you're going to have the link in the description. If you want to use it, feel free. You're going to get early access to this tool and you're also going to get a 10% discount on your fees. Once you're in, you're going to be presented to this landing page where you're going to see every token that's being launched on pumpfun on live stream. Okay, so first of all, you're going to have some information like, for example, token liquidity, market cap, transactions, audit report, and socials, but we're going to get to this later on. What we're wondering is about this pumpfun vision tab. So we're going to click and we're going to be presented with three categories: new creations, about to graduate, and graduated. The new creations are the tokens that are being launched, like the baby tokens that are being launched on pumpfun. The about to graduate are the ones that are about to bond on Radium, and the graduated ones are the ones that are already bonded. In this case, we're going to be focusing on the about to graduated ones. Why? Because we're going to be trying to buy the Radium dip. So, in case you want to trade new creations, which I don't really recommend because it's like a gamble, so you will probably end up losing more money than the one you're making. All right, now we're going to quickly explain each token. Here, if you are hovering over the section like the logos on the top left corner of any token, you're going to see you have always the pumpfun link to the creation. So if you click on here, you're going to see the token on pumpfun. Then you have the socials, which can be Twitter, website, and Telegram. Keep in mind that not all of them are going to have socials. In this case, Kiwasi has Xlink, has website, and has a Telegram. Of course, these are things you have to check for buying a token because many times you're going to find out that people is reusing websites, which means that the token is a scam. On the other hand, we have some extra data, like for example, look at this, like the WO token. You see three logos in here: top 10 holders, developer, and insiders. In this case, top 10 holders is holding more than 15%, which is 28 in this case. The dev has sold everything, it has 0%, and 1% of the tokens are held by insiders. In my opinion, whenever the top holders is below 30%, 25, 30%, it's a good entry point. And the dev doesn't have to hold more than 6%. Why? Because he can sell at any given time. But nowadays, it's not a big deal when the dev sells, so keep that in mind. And what you don't want, it's a token that has a lot of holders by insiders. Like for example, if you go to the Hasbulla token, this is the 1 second time frame, by the way. And you're going to see that the dev bought 750 million tokens, which is literally 75% of the supply. And the chart, it's going sideways. Like, why would you trade this? Of course, this is going to be a pump and dump. So, the strategy, as I said, is about trying to filter the tokens that are about to bond and trade the bonding curve dump. So we're going to go on filters and you're going to put at least 85% of the bonding curve, and market cap is going to be at least, let's actually put 70k because the tokens bond at around 90. So in this case, let's open this chart, Mamoon, which is not bonding yet, but it's very close. As you can see, the bonding curve, it's at 97%. And let's do some analysis and you will see my thoughts on this token on live. First of all, we're gonna check the Twitter, the website, and the Telegram. I won't check it right now. So the Twitter, as you can see, it has 1,000 followers, which is good. It has the contract address, which we're gonna copy. I'm gonna paste here. So it's EQ red, which looks like it's the same one, which is good. And the Twitter is kind of active. So I'll like that. We can also check if the DEX screener is paid. To do that, you have check DEX XYZ, and you're gonna paste the contract address in here. And as you can see, the DEX screener is paid, which is already a good sign. But this token looks like it's a slow cooker because the volume, it's not being that high. In the last 1 hour, it had $80,000 in volume, which is not bad at all for a 89K market cap token. Let's also check the top holders, which in this case, the dev, it's holding 10%, which in my opinion is too much, okay? And the rest of the people is holding 4%, 5%, 3%. This 38% is definitely above my limit. So another cool feature about BullX is the bubble map. If you go in here and click bubble map, it's going to generate, like, of course, a bubble map of the wallets. In this case, you will not see related wallets. So there is no bundle, which is good. But unluckily, you won't be able to trade this token because, first of all, it has the bond. And what you're looking for is a quick scalp. Like, for example, imagine it bonds at 95K, dips all the way up to 50, and then does a little pump before dying. Keep in mind that 99.99% of the tokens will die. Like, they will go to $40,000 market cap, and you will lose your money unless you exit at the right time. But what we're looking for is for tokens that have a higher volume. For example, we're going to have a look at Spooky, which is already bonding. In this case, you're going to see that the dev bought 50% of the whole supply, and it has been selling. First of all, don't get into a token where the dev has that much of supply control. Why? Because most of the times you will end up losing money because he's going to rug you. Next up, we're going to be checking top holder distribution, which the dev's still holding 3%, which is around $3,000. And if he sells, like for example, look at this, he sold 3.79K, and there was like a 30% drop in the 1 second chart. So I'm already skeptical about this one, but it has good volume. Like, it has $87,000 in volume in the last 5 minutes. And what we are looking for is for a dip, right? So considering that the tokens bond around the 92K, we're looking for a 50, which is around 45, and a 60% retracement, like a very quick retracement, like around this one, before buying. Why? Because if you pay attention closely, most of the tokens, 95% of the tokens, do have a radium dip, which means that people takes profits and tokens go down. From my point of view, I've been analyzing a lot of tokens, and I realized that most of them do have like a 50 to 60% retracement before having another 100% pump. So for example, let's say this token goes to 44K and it does like a quick pump. For example, I don't know, like a 60% to 75, and then it ends up dying. We're going to try and look at this in live. Okay, so we're going to wait for it to bond, and we're going to remove the drawings. But this strategy is all about buying the dip and selling for a 50-60% profit. The principal ingredient is the volume. You don't want a very, very volatile token because don't have a good entry point. In this case, Spooky is a very good example, aside from the dev holding that much of a supply. And I'm just going to do a quick cut and get back to you when the token already bonded. All right, so in this case, token bonded and it's going straight up. The bonding is around 97%. And you will always want to measure from the all-time high. So in this case, the all-time high, oh God, sorry about that, I misclicked. So the all-time high, you see the dev sold, like another 30% dump. That's why I'm telling you, don't buy tokens where the dev holds that much of a percentage. Luckily, there are some buys coming in, which in this case is, okay, this is a MEV, don't pay attention, but the buys are very small, which means that the token interest is going down. So it's 0.01, 0.3 buys. I'm not seeing big buys like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 souls. So in this case, this is not a token I would trade. Quick recap. I'm not trading this because, first of all, the dev knocked the chart. I don't really like these buyings. Like, of course, these are some very small buyings that I don't think they're organic at all. So this could be a farm, and we said a 60% dip. So from 140k, a 60% dip is gonna be around 55k and 70k, okay, which is 50%. There is a lot of volatility going on, so you would need a high slippage. In my case, I have 20, but you can put this up to 30%, and you would need a priority fee of 0.01 and a pre-batch of 0.001, okay? So each transaction would be around $3, which is not bad, but I don't really like this token, so we're gonna move on. So, for example, Mamoon, which we were checking, it already bonded, but we cannot trade this. Why? Because there is no movement at all. People is not trading it. Like it had 25k volume in the last 1 hour, and you don't see this quick dip. Okay, so well, in this case there was a dump. Someone took profits. I'm gonna remove the drawings, and you're gonna see that it's at 25%. But we are ideally looking at a 50% dump and a 60% dump. As I said, most of the cases, this is going to be like a small pump, like trying to recover before ending up dying. As an example, we're going to go to the graduated list and look at tokens that are already graduated and see how their chart looks like. In this case, the dev bought 4%, but I don't like this huge candle, which means that this was bundled. Like, there is no way someone buys the token and 1 second afterwards it's at $100,000 market cap. Plus, this is going sideways. What does this mean? That this is a farm. They're fakely putting in volume while they are selling their tokens, right? If you go to the holders, you're going to see that the dev has still holding, but there are holders that have, for example, 16%, 4%, and so on. So once again, we're going to move on to our next token. For example, let's look at Lick, which is at $70 million market cap. This is very weird. So the dev bought 80% of the supply. It still went up to a lot of millions, but like this chart clearly doesn't look organic at all. So what you're looking for, ideally, is a token. Let me try and find it on live. For example, let's look at OZA. Okay, this is a rug pull, but I'm going to use it as an example of things you're looking for. So in this case, the dev bought 10 million tokens and then sold, so he cheated. And the token was slowly cooking. It was slowly going up. You know, there was no 1 second candle that sent the token right to the bonding curve, right? So this is ideally what you're looking for. This token bonded around here, okay? This is the first time it reached. Okay, let me delete the drawings. Let's reset the chart view, and let's remove indicators, and let's remove drawings. So this was the bonding spot around 100k, and it had 24% drop, and then it had a 50% pump. So on average, the second pump it's gonna be around 50%. Okay, of course it can go way higher, but from what I've seen, second pump is 50%. Afterwards, the token ended up dying. Someone rugged it, so that's why I have to be very, very careful when trading meme coins. Moving on, we're gonna look at another token, like for example, Homeless and BullX. And let's see their behavior after they bonded. So let's look around. Okay, so this was the, where did it bond? So the bonding occurred here, okay? And there was a 20% dump, and there was another 2x, and now the token it's still going higher. There is good volume, there is high volume in the 1 hour chart. Holder distribution looks pretty good. The dev's still holding 5%. But me personally, I wouldn't trade this token. Why? Because it goes out of my strategy. Looking onto a BullX, let's look at his bonding chart, which is around, okay, it's not loading up for some reason. Okay, here is it. So this one, it's not the bonding because the tokens do bond at around 100K. So as you can see, okay, let's say the bonding was around here. There are high chances of seeing like a 1 to 2 seconds spike, which would be this after the bonding, before seeing that retracement. So from the all-time high, the retracement is 70%, as I told you, followed by a 20x, right? So this is the strategy. Unluckily, I won't be able to trade it live because I haven't seen opportunities. Like for example, moral, okay, let's have a look. And if it's good enough, I'm going to probably trade it. So this chart, it's looking very, very good. Why? Because the holders is 28, it's below 30. Traders, okay, there is good buys coming in. The token is bonding, so we're gonna look around the 50 to 60%, which is gonna be around this entry line, the blue line. I'm gonna do a quick cut and get back to you when the token already bonded. Well, the moral token is taking literally forever to bond. Like I've been waiting here for 30 minutes and it's not bonding. So we're gonna also have a look at this WooCoin that we've seen before. And in my opinion, this chart is just perfect. The dev sold and the movement is pretty organic. Like it had pumps and dumps, pumps, dumps, pumps, dumps, and now it's migrating. So from 100,000, a 50% retracement would be around 50 to 40K around here. Checking the holders, you're gonna see that there is 48. Okay, it's literally too much because they can quickly dump. But at the same point, it's something good. Why? Because if they sell, you might see this dump that you're waiting for. So once again, I'm gonna do a quickly cut and get back when this token already bonded, and we're gonna be live analyzing it. Okay, so as you can see, the token just bonded and it's spiking to 100K. So it's still going up. Volume is coming in nicely. Trades are small in my opinion. Choose all. I don't know. Okay, so it's dumping. Holders are selling. Okay, it's still 48, no big deal. Let's zoom in a little bit more. And it looks like it's taking a little while to quick going down. So right now we are at a 30% retracement. Okay, it's still going down. I'm gonna put probably 0.2. But I don't really like this movement because I'm expecting a quicker dump towards the 50-60% retracement. And don't worry if you are missing these points, you know. It's not always going to be 50 to 60%. Sometimes it's going to be like this case 30% and the token is going to skyrocket. Other times the token can go a little bit upwards before ending up dying again. But my recommendation is to skip the token if you don't manage to get this dip. So let's say in this case the token did 30% and now it's pumping back again to 50. You see, like 50% pump after the radian retracement. So don't trade two dips. If you missed the first one, like around these key levels, you know, like the 50-60% dump, just skip it and move to the next one. So that's what I have for you for today, guys. I hope you find this video useful. Unluckily, we were not able to live trade it, that the conditions didn't allow. And if you like the video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to join the Telegram link that you have in the description. That's my private channel, and we're sharing daily insights, tokens, wallets, and much, much more. So with that being said, see you on the next one.